G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map, playing in the color yellow as the Ottomans, it's Beastie Cutie. And on the west side of the map, playing in the color red as the Holy Roman Empire, it's Wind SAS. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game here on Dry Arabia. We are witnessing Beastie Cutie preparing for the Red Bull Wallalol. Now I've got to switch these two around. Boom. There you guys go. So now we've got the correct orientation of the names at the top. Now what else do we need to do? I guess we also need to switch this one around so you guys can see the opening build orders from these guys. If you're wanting to get a little update, we've got SAS opening with a 3-3 opening, and Beastie going to be opening with a 7 villager on food, and then heading out over onto the gold. Now we're going to be riding on board with Beastie Cutie, because ladies and gentlemen, he is preparing for the Red Bull Wallalol. That is right, the Red Bull Wallalol Legacy is Seed 2 for the event. Marine Lord is Seed 1, so he's only pipped off the top ever so slightly by the Frenchman. But still, Beastie begins practicing, and he's looking very solid so far. We watched a game earlier today where he was playing up against SAS, and I gotta be honest, to me, when I'm watching Ottomans, it feels like they just have a massive army out of nowhere. There's just like, you're watching them and there's like 5 units, and then there's 7 units, and then there's 463 units, and you're like, where did you get all these units from? And I mean, we can explain a couple of those, right? Like, of course, they get access to the Janissaries, which is, I can't remember the name of the tech, and there's no way for me to check it in-game at the moment. Unfortunately, with the Spectator UI, it is one of the shortcomings of the Spectator UI that you can't actually check the Imperial Council for the Vizier system. So you can access the Janissaries, and you can get up to 8 Janissaries quite early on in the castle age, which is pretty decent when you think about it. Like, these units are costing a fair amount of resources, and if you're pulling out, like, it's got to be worth, what, close to 2,000 resources that you're getting for free. Don't be surprised if that gets nerfed in the future. That's kind of strong when you think about it. I'm impressed with the timing power. You know, initially, I said that oh god, that's terrible for Beastie right there. I don't know if you guys all saw that. All of Beastie's sheep were over here on the east side of the map, and SAS has just gone and picked them all up and said, okay, I'll have them, thank you. So very, very nice there for SAS. He actually opened with a double scout opening, so it's not something necessarily rare that we do see these days, but definitely something less common that we see these days, especially for a civilization like the Holy Roman Empire. To me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be going for that second scout up against a civilization like the Ottomans, just simply because they're already going to have so many food, so much food, not so many food, so much food. Interesting position here with the Twin Minaret Madrasa. I'd love to understand a little bit more about this one. Very exposed. And of course it does act as a mill, but for me, I'd be like, all right, let's just throw it down here right next to the town center. I'd be going Twin Minaret Madrasa here, right next to the TC. That way it's a little bit closer to the TC. You can defend it, because right now, if SAS comes in and puts a bit of pressure over here, there's no way you're gathering from this at all, so your food economy is going to stall out. And then I'd be putting all of my infrastructure over here up towards this north side of my town center. It looks like Beastie going to be opening up with a couple of villages on stone as well, so do expect to see that early expansion, maybe even an early stable, like we saw out from him earlier today. But we'll ride on board over on the other side of the map and see how SAS is doing. So it's going with the Archon Chapel, and this is part of the reason why Double Scout is actually pretty decent here for the Holy Roman Empire, because any food that you can put underneath this Archon Chapel, it's going to feel good. And we can already see that SAS is going to have plenty of food under here, so throw down a mill next to the berries, throw down his mining camp here next to... Could he? He could have put the mining camp in between. And this is something a lot of players do, myself included. You don't really pay attention when these two are together. And, you know, he's missed out here on what potentially could have been a 50 wood saving, so it's not a big deal. But at the same time, you know, it's the little things that count, right? So, it's one of those things. But this is a pretty good Archon Chapel. Now, he doesn't actually get the wood line, but he is going to be able just to stick a prelate up there. Gets the gold mine, gets the TC, gets the berries, gets the stone. I'm going to rate this. This is pretty good. I'm going to say this is an 8, close to an 8.5, because you can just chuck a prelate on the wood line and then use the prelate once you hit the third age. Right on board with Beastie now. As you can see, he's being scouted out, and it is going to be that fast stable, and really interesting positioning here once again from Beastie with the stable coming down. So it's always in this kind of location. He went for this last time as well, so quite far out, and he's going to get obviously scouted out by SAS. He's going to know well and truly about it. He's got a double scout opening, so he's got plenty of information about what exactly Beastie's up to. He does see the 3 vills on gold, and also checks how much has been taken off this gold. Now keep in mind, the Ottomans actually start with an extra 50 stone. Did I say gold? I meant stone. So yeah, there's been an extra, you can see how much stone's been taken off this. So Ottomans start with an extra 50 stone. So you can see Beastie already up to 320 stone at the moment. He's going to need 350. But we can see the Spahi going to be coming out now. Obviously, Beastie knows that that his enemy is aware of his positioning as well. Does see him with the scout there. And he's going to begin moving across the map. There's not really an easy target for him, unfortunately. Best case scenario, maybe he causes a bit of idle time here on the stone mine. You know what? There's no chance of it happening. Already got the barracks out. Beautiful adaptation, or beautiful adaptation rather, from SAS here. So he scouted out the enemy stable and he said, well, that's fine. I'm just going to go for a racks. I'm going to make barracks a barracks anyway at some point in this game. I might as well make it now, and then that way I'm okay for a little bit longer. But able to take down the scout. Does a little bit of health. Not too much. A little bit of damage on that one. Second scout coming over, and we do hear a second TC. Going to be dropped down here. It sounds like it was right here. Is this where he's going? Let's have a look and see. It's going to be further down. Oh my lord, it's going to be further down. Look at this town center. What is this TC coming down from Beastie right now? This is an absolutely crazy TC. SAS going to spot it out as well. And we can see him just coming over here. He's actually looking to kill the deer. Very, very cheeky here from SAS. Let's see if he's able to take it down. First deer actually gets taken out. Town center comes through. He's just helping Beastie at this point. He's not even paying attention. Oh, this is terrible because he's actually rallied over here onto this position. Look at this. So, oh, okay, fortunately, okay. I was going to say, so what you want to do is you want to push the deer away from the town center so it's less efficient for your enemy to gather. And you can see he's trying to scare this deer. There we go. He gets the scare away. He's going to want to try and scare that one away as far as possible. Spy coming in on the other side. Villager might go down here. First villager of the game does indeed go down on the gold mine. So SAS not paying attention, and indeed he loses a villager as the consequence. Spy going to be able to get out of there with its head above water, and now a Spy going to be looking to chase away this position, or chase away the scout. Scout able to take down the deer. Gets him in a pretty annoying spot. You can see he's out here, 1, 2 of the deer. All the rest of them, fortunately, underneath the TC. It looks like there's still one alive right there. But Spearmen going to be outrun. The consequence of opening with Spearmen are that they get outrun very easily. But that second TC now going to be coming down for SAS, and we'll check back in with Beastie. He's actually gathering up plenty of stone himself, but he has stopped. You can see that he's got 127 in the bag, and I suspect he dropped a military school, and he's going to be dropping a second one any second. Don't you worry about it. There it is. So interesting opening here from Beastie. So he's going, the way he's opening at the moment is second town center into double military school. That's the way he's doing it. And I feel like I'm reliving a game all of a sudden, but this time it's with spearmen that are coming out. I had to have this sort of weird thought process. I'm like, hold on a minute. I swear I've seen this game before, but no, last time it was with the Rus, it was with knights, and now we see the consequence of what I was talking about a bit earlier really coming to fruition here. Fortunately, it looks like Beastie not going to lose the villagers this time, but does have to throw away at least one military school, and it's going to stuff him up a little bit because now it's not producing, now it's not making units. On the other side of the map, Spahi and the scout are going to be chased back away from that position. We can see the spearmen making their way around the edge of the map. Going to spot out a sheep. Now he could just murder this, or he could move his scout over to come and grab this sheep. But for the moment, Beastie just chilling out, very happy, going to be throwing down the next military school. So yeah, my suggestion was to go right next to the town center with all of that production. We do hear the spears looking to be quite aggressive, and I do like this from SAS. I think if you're going to open spears like this, just be aggressive with them and force the issue to your enemy. Make them react, force them to make archers, because that's what you're going to do, because they can't fight you with their horsemen. It's just not viable. They can try and run you around, but realistically, you're going to be able to defend as long as you've got spearmen that are reinforcing back at home. But now, all of a sudden, it looks like a villager might go down for Beastie. The spearman, oh, he gets him. He gets it, and he manages to get out scot-free as well. So one villager taken down from both of these guys. And we can see that we've got destroyed value coming in at 430. I'm going to do some quick math for you guys. I suspect that may include this bad boy right here. So it was cancelled away. So that does include, so cancelled buildings does also, well, that value also includes cancelled buildings, I would suspect. Now, Beastie can be throwing down a stable and an archery range. No blacksmith. Oh, no, there's the blacksmith right there. Okay. Gosh, I'm a little bit blind. I will have to apologize to you guys. And now Beastie looking to fight up against the spearmen. These guys are hardened, so a little bit harder to fight against, if you get what I mean. They're hardened, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Don't, oh my, you guys are terrible. I'm just imagining the YouTube comments right now. Every single one of you guys watching this on YouTube, I know exactly what you're thinking, and it's disgusting. Get your head out of the gutter, all right? Down on the south side. Still being scouted out. SAS doing a pretty decent job with the early aggression. I'm loving it. And we do see the archer has been forced out now from Beastie. He's going to fall back away from the gold mine. Beastie was looking to try and get towards that castle age. We do see wheelbarrow actually coming through for him as well. Now underneath the town center, let's have a look and see how he reacts. Villager's going to be jumping inside the TC. One of the spearmen are going to be dropping down, but he's buying himself time right here because effectively these spears, they don't really do too much, realistically. Of course, they form part of a larger force eventually, but at this point in time, this is about the best thing that you're going to do with them. And now able to come through. Does he hit the low health villager? Oh my god, the beautiful pull there together with the wheelbarrow, and he's able to get on out of there. Beautiful stuff right there. But behind this, take a look what we've got. It's the Burgrave Palace. Watch out, Beastie. The Burger Palace is here, and it means business. So what does SAS go for from the Burger Palace? For me, the big thing here is just men-at-arms. It's very difficult to deal with the men-at-arms in the second age as the Ottomans. You got to get up to that third age. You got to look to get out those crossbows. And look at this coming out from Beastie. I'm loving this playstyle. This really, I see what Beastie's doing, and it's looking a lot like my games. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but this is, in my opinion, the best way to be playing this civilization. You ideally want to be keeping your military skills, even though he's got them on archers at the moment. You want to have them on Spahi, and then you want to be producing your archers from your archery range. At the same time, you also want to be looking to get wheelbarrow as well as +1, or rather double broadaxe, as it is also known, but not going to be the case here. Rather, I guess, you know what? It's not even anything similar to what I'm doing. He's just going with a whole bunch of production, and look at the production that he's supporting: 3 stables, 4 archery ranges. Now beginning to push out. Men-at-arm numbers still a little bit short at the moment. We can see he's got 4 men-at-arms at the moment that he's realized. Still yet to see any more in queue. He's going to add in a couple. 3 men-at-arms in queue, and now we start to see that really big build-up of units coming through for our Ottoman player. Now, it does look like Beastie has picked up the meta bonus here. So this has come through from the Imperial Council. He's used the meta bonus here. So you can see as soon as it's in formation, it's going to be giving that speed boost to any of the other units that are in the formation. And now Beastie, getting caught out of position a little bit there. We do see the sprinkled emplacement coming through. Now the men-at-arms going to be looking to fight up against the Sparky, but unfortunately for the Sparky, or the men-at-arms rather, they're outwhelmed and overnumbered at this point. No +1 ranged attack or ranged armor coming through, but it's not going to matter because Beastie's got no +1 ranged attack. But now, for the most part, I mean, Beastie's looking pretty solid. Now, going to be going for a stable. Oh my god! Sorry, guys. I'm having a little bit of a stroke. You'll have to excuse me while I reboot. All right, we're good. Going for a battering ram. That is. Sprinkled emplacement, dishing out that damage. Whenever you hear that sound, that sound just scares me. Battering ram does get up, and now it looks like still no +1 coming through. But the men-at-arms looking pretty decent here. Not going for any Lance Connect, and it makes sense not to go for Lance Connect just because of how many archers are out here. It's not going to stand a second. It will be shot down by somebody as good as Beastie. So a very smart decision here from SAS to avoid going into Lance Connects. A lot of lesser players would be tempted to go into Lance Connects, but do not do it. Do not make that mistake. Sprinkled emplacement continuing to defend. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode right now as Beastie looks to try and take out SAS here in this position. Continuing to hold on. SAS is looking to try and keep this outpost alive. We can see the emergency repairs come through. Battering ram also goes down, and SAS does manage to hold this position. We hear relics also being picked up behind this, and SAS is going to be successful. And now the question is going to be how much value can he actually realize from this Burgrave Palace? It's all going to come down to this Burger Palace. When you're investing in the Burger Palace, you want to try and get value in it. If he's pushing towards his second TC, that's where he's going to find value. I'm loving it. The other great spots to push are going to be the wood line. The minaret is also going to be a great spot. Anywhere that there's villagers, that's going to be great for you. And now we can see nice little raid coming in from Beastie, drawing attention back towards the base of his enemies, trying to get these men-at-arms back away from his own base. Not going to be successful, though. And we can see, look, excuse me? Excuse me, sir? What are you doing down here? Beastie with the 9 villagers casually on his enemy's side, just picking up some food. All right, you do you, Beastie. I ain't gonna hate. And now we've got the Triforce coming out now. 1 Spearman, 1 Men-at-Arms, 1 Lance Connect. There could be danger ahead of the... yeah, you better run away, Beastie. I would be very scared of that. Oh my lord, there's a massacre over in Beastie's base. I wasn't paying attention. 4 villagers going down. Men-at-Arms looking good. They got the heavy maces upgrade by the look of it right now. I can't see exactly, but I'm pretty sure we did see heavy maces coming out for the... Nope, I don't know why I thought I saw that. But anyway, he's continuing to chase around the Spahi. No meta over here, so not going to have that speed boost, but working down that second TC. Beastie going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Going to be back down to 1 TC. Villager count for him is still quite high, so do keep that in mind. And now those archers looking to try and focus them down. Still yet to receive any kind of upgrade at this point in time. He's obviously got the +1, but no veterancy through yet, as he still is in the feudal age. Now with that, we do see +1 ranged armor coming through on SAS's side, so that is accurately reflected in that one. Once again, the Spahi coming through. Beastie being relentless with this, and look at how many low health units he's got here. Absolutely insane micro there from Beastie to be able to keep all of those alive. Now up towards the north, it looks like more men-at-arms going to be coming in. Beautiful play. This is exactly what SAS needs to do in this situation. But unfortunately, he doesn't have them on attack move. He's got them on attack, or he's got them on move commands. And hopefully, if we run on board with SAS, he can actually see these units. There we go. But fortunately for Beastie, the Spahi as well as the archers are here. Let's ride on board with Beastie and see how he's doing, as men-at-arms are just rampaging over the enemy base right now, and this is it. I mean, this is what makes it so damn difficult for Beastie. SAS has got a great economy behind this. He's picked up plenty of relics as well. We can see it. At least 2 relics have been picked up. I'll try and scout them down for you guys. Actually, you know what? I don't even need to. You want to know why? I've got it here on the UI. Now the men-at-arms are going to be looking to try and deal up against the Spahi. They force them back for the moment, taking out about 3 of them. Plenty of production here on the front line has been taken out already. SAS looking very solid in this early game stage. We're at 15 minutes in, and we're going to flip it over now so you guys can see the income. 1 relic at the moment in the bag for him. We'll swap it over to religious statistics, and you can see it's only 80 gold a minute, not 160 gold a minute, because he did not go for that Regnitz Cathedral, instead going for the Burgrave Palace. But now that archer mass is really starting to build for Beastie. We can see it looks like veteran Spahi going to be coming through. Still no veteran archers at this point in time, so needs to get that veteran archer upgrade in, but he's actually just going to be mixing in crossbows instead. So who knows, perhaps moving away from that composition. Now down towards the south, Beastie's lost all the villagers. I do apologize, and SAS is really starting to pull ahead with regard to that score. Take a look at that. He's up by about 250 points, which is not too bad. Villager count, he's also up by about 3. He's got the relic working for him, but Beastie, well, he's got something sneaking in his back pocket. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 military schools, and these guys are going to be working overtime. First night of the game out on the map now. Second night going to be coming in for SAS. He's looking to cause damage, and I tell you what, he's definitely giving Beastie a run for his money in this game. Holy Roman Empire seems like a pretty decent matchup. Spy up towards the north. Wallalol going to be coming in surely. Surely Wallalol's right here. There's the Wallalol. Spy will be able to make it out if Beastie reacts in time. That should be okay. Manages to get out of there. You know what? I really wouldn't mind like a minus 1 second reduction on that Wallalol time, but you know what? That'd probably make it a little bit too crazy, wouldn't it? Maybe it slows units in the AoE or something like that. Unfortunately, that relic does get denied, at least for the moment. He'll be able to pick it up again, though. Don't worry. That one is safely behind walls, but Beastie will be dropping down a monastery or a mosque shortly. You'd expect if he's only if he addresses this issue that he's got at the moment. Now, keep in mind, these military schools are bloody expensive. One of the things we talked about earlier in the game, earlier in the day even, is that these military schools need to be under this town center because these are so damn expensive. You don't want to be losing these. And Beastie now able to push out, fortunately, forcing away these enemy units. We can see the scores somewhat evened up now towards the north side. A little bit of a raid coming through, men-at-arms and a knight working together. And once again, those men-at-arms on the south side here now begin focusing down the military school, and Beastie torn right now between which side he goes. He doesn't really know who he needs to focus down. Still no veteran archers through just yet. Arrow slits coming through for him. More relics being picked up behind the scenes. It's going to be your central relics. Where are these relics that are getting picked up? Scout out over here. I'm not sure exactly where they are, but I assure you they're getting picked up. I can hear them. Has Beastie got a mosque down yet? Oh, he doesn't have a mosque down yet. Now adding in production in the back of the base. Oh, it's not looking good for Beastie at this point in time. He's managed to overtake on the score. Still, it is worrisome. Beastie now with the outpost coming through. Arrow slit's going to be the way. He could have just turned the villagers on that outpost. There's only 12. There's 12 villagers there. He should have been able to micro that one. Men-at-arms now going to be forced away from this position. Still no veteran archer through just yet. Now finally coming through that veteran archer. He does have +2 ranged attack. Crossbowman here as well going to be able to be pretty effective. And now we've got a little bit of a split coming through. Not sure what that's all about. Attack speed on the meta. Needs to keep the meta on the backside, so does fortunately do that. These units are attacking very fast and going to be able to shred through the army of SAS. So definitely a bit curious of a decision to take this fight here. A mangonel or 2 would have just completely sealed the deal, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough, and SAS forced away from this position. Definitely not a good trade here. So Beastie holding his own in this position. A lot of people might have given up after the first town center went down. Maybe after the military infrastructure went down. He lost 2 archery ranges, a 3rd archery range, and then again another 2 military schools. So he's lost a lot over on that position. But he's not out of the game just yet. And Beastie, the kind of guy who is not going to quit a game until it is 100% over. Another little raid coming in now. SAS going to be losing some villagers. Look at this. He's up to 6 villagers lost now. So there's the 7th one that goes down once again. At the same time, we've got more villagers going down over on the Arkan Chapel. So more and more villagers slowly but steadily being killed over on this side of the map. Fortunately, SAS is able to retreat back towards the town center. And now, oh, is he going to get this this next vill? It looks like he might, actually. Oh, it's one more attack. Not able to get it, unfortunately. Up towards the north. Once again, SAS going to be trying to repel Beastie. He's doing a decent job, and honestly, I'm very impressed with SAS and how well he did, but now we see the sacred site starting to be captured in the center of the map. The first two going to be taken. The second one down towards that south side, and the third one in the middle of the map, which is yet to be even thought about, but we do see a single archer moving down. These guys finally getting their veterancy upgrade. Beastie looking good as he moves into the south side of the enemy base. Trying to find an angle, and he's going to find a couple of villagers on the wood line, focusing the first one down. Second and third do go down as well. Beastie now down on this south position. Going to be able to clean up these units here from SAS. He's going to continue kiting back. Beautiful microbiome. And just deciding to fight it out. We do see Sacred Site in the north gets captured. Down to the south, it is neutralized. Attacks happening absolutely all over the map. We'll switch on board with Beastie. Right on board with the Beast and see how he's doing. Now, keep in mind, at any point in time, that loud noise coming from the Imperial Council may come through. So I do apologize if I have to go and change my pants because that thing is bloody loud. But now continuing to move down around the south side of the map. Beastie looking for more villagers. The villager count at the moment, 74 versus 72. But have a look at that military difference. That's where you're going to start seeing this score really start to move ahead, and Beastie looking very solid. And it all goes back to that one exchange that was over here, because that was a lot of leverage, okay? That exchange that happened over there. We saw SAS lose a huge amount of melee units. He could have used those to protect mangonels. With those mangonels, he would have been able to force the issue, really force the issue here with Beastie. I would have advocated for maybe 2 or 3 villagers come forward, drop down a siege workshop, get that mangonel out, start sieging down this position. But unfortunately, not going to be the case for SAS. So it just comes down to not really getting a lot of value out of this Burgrave. You really want to try and get a huge amount of value out of it. He got the town center, which was decent, and he got 5 production buildings, including 2 military schools. So that's pretty damn decent as well. But at the same time, you got to try and finish the game. And now Beastie, I mean, the longer this game goes on, I feel like the better it gets for the Ottomans. I know that a lot of people don't really like the late game of the Ottomans, but for me, I'm a big fan. I think they got a lot going for them. Plenty more farms now coming up for Beastie. Over on his side of the map, we can see SAS has also got plenty of them, but he's been getting them sieged down, and at the moment, he just holds on down on this south side. We do see a mangonel is in queue. There's that sound I was telling you about. Didn't catch me out that time, and now we've got some veteran horsemen going to be coming down. They got +2 range attack. Very, very smart. Very, very smart from SAS to fall back from that. You guys look at that and you're like, yeah, 13 horsemen, that's enough. No, that ain't enough. I mean, they'd probably win the fight, but at the end of the day, it's just not a good trade, and you can do so much better. Knights up towards the north now. Looks like Spear's going to be moving to cover them. And Beastie going to start thinking about perhaps moving into some spearmen himself. I mean, he saw all those horsemen. A keep up towards the north going to come down. Beastie, unfortunately, also going to be getting walled in. Oh god, there's a lot of vills up here. Unfortunately, it looks doubtful that this keep is going to be getting up, though. SAS going to have to retreat away from this position. Back towards this keep. We can see Beastie also going to be doing the same thing, forcing that keep to actually be cancelled, and we can see the value going to be reflected as a consequence. But villagers now down on the south side might get found out by Beastie. Fortunately, it looks like they just managed to go the other way. Beastie gets attacked by a wolf as he continues making his way back towards his base, and that keep is going to be up. So we've seen a lot of players, or a lot of plays this game where each player has been looking to steal resources from the other side of the map. Beastie looking to steal resources on his enemy's side, and SAS looking to steal resources on Beastie's side. But now Beastie looking to really begin walling up. We can see the beginnings of the walls, something that we've actually seen quite a lot of at the moment, and we've got ourselves a little bit of a cleanup down here. Beautiful little position here for Beastie right next to the gold mine. We can see that terrible pathing coming out for SAS, and this is exactly what I was talking about. This is the reason why this was not enough horsemen. It seems like it is, it's just not. Horsemen get absolutely shredded by these units. They're just too damn good, too damn pretty, too damn strong. For me, this game, it's all about taking bad fights for SAS. He's taken 2 really bad fights now. The first one here on the gold mine, or rather the second one here on the gold mine. The first one was over here underneath this stealth forest. And unfortunately, it's just meant he's lost so many units and hasn't taken out anything from Beastie. If he was able to keep those units, you can see Beastie up on 156 at the moment. I reckon SAS would be very close to him. And we can see the military, or the economic pop is reflected subsequently. Now SAS going to be throwing away a mangonel, not like this. And things really starting to unfold now for SAS. Not looking good at all. As Beastie stalls out for a second, has a little bit of a brain fart. He'll be okay, though. Those knights now going to start marching towards the enemy base. We see 1 relic picked up for him. It's actually 4 relics in the bag now for SAS. A single relic remains over on the side of Beastie. We ride back on board. with SAS and his perspective and see exactly how he's going to look to defend this position. We've got some spearmen moving in over from the east side, as well as some horsemen, but there's not a lot of units here, unfortunately for him. And now looks like battering ram's going to be coming through. Crossbows getting caught out of position. Spearmen doing a decent job of catching them. And now the horsemen going to be looking to try and loop around on this position, but unfortunately BC's mass here is just absolutely, well, massive at this point in the game. And SAS is just, I mean, how does he hold this position? It just seems impossible for him. Spearmen fighting against archers. Knights over here uncontested fighting against knights. Not the best way you'd like to play, but you can just really start to see the difference between, you know, SAS is a very good player. He's probably, I think, a top 50 player. But you can see the difference between the top 5 and the top 50. It is really it's just a great example right now to see that. Beastie just running rings around him. You know, had this been any player outside the top 5, I reckon SAS would have had him this game. But Beastie just knows how to get back into these games, and he's done so damn bloody well. Plenty of villagers continue going down. Look at this. Beastie taking out 43 vills this game so far of his enemy. He is relentless with these villager kills. Up towards the north, more vills continue to go down. We do see the counterweight trebuchet going to be firing down on this keep. No forward town center here means no emergency repairs. It is not within the influence, and more knights up towards the north now, managing to get cleaned up. SAS going to be able to hold on for dear life for the moment, but still, it's tough. It's tough. Beastie looking really solid in this game. We see boiling oil now coming in for Beastie. Plenty more upgrades as well. The Janissaries make their way out onto the field, and look at this mass of Janissaries. Hold on a minute. We got a Janissary fan, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm a Janissary fan as well. I know that people were shit-talking them. They're like, Janissaries are terrible, get rid of them. The new Janissary change actually makes them viable and actually makes them pretty damn good. They've definitely got a certain niche that they fill. Think of them as a ranged spearmen. That's the best way to think of it. They don't get countered by horsemen. They don't get countered by mangonels. They don't have the ranged tag. They used to have the ranged tag. They don't have it anymore. They still take extra damage from ranged units, but they don't take extra damage from being ranged units, if that makes sense. I know it's complex. Essentially, horsemen don't do extra damage to them, but archers still do that extra damage that we talked about. They receive extra range damage. So basically, it's just a class that they couldn't really fill, unfortunately. But now, Beastie just beautiful micro, able to take out so many of those villagers. 56 villager kills. SAS down right now by about 30 villagers. We can see Beastie managing to pull back ahead despite only sitting on that. Well, he's added in the second TC now. He did lose that town center a bit earlier. More trebs now rolling out onto the battlefield. Beastie looking very solid as he begins approaching that 200 population limit. We can see the military schools down to the south have yet to be replaced on that south side, instead being replaced up here over on the north part of the base. Plenty of farms coming out for these players now. I don't think there's any way for us to tell how many farms are in play at the moment. We used to be able to click the villages and hover over the farms, but you can't see the farms anymore for the villages. You can't see any of those extrapolated menus anymore. Still, this army sits down here for Beastie. Beastie up by about 2k score at the moment, solidifying this position with the outpost. We hear the sprinkled emplacement firing up, but it sounds a bit weird. What is that sound? Sprinkled emplacement, you gotta fix yourself, son. Okay, there you go, there you go. Before it was just like a little click. There we go, there. Now we're in business. Even Beastie was like, excuse me, sir, you're not firing there. You're firing blanks at me. Yeah, there we go. Listen to that. Yeah, what a weird bug. It's a weird sprinkled sound bug, but I'll take it. I mean, with Age of Empires 4, no shortage of bugs, that's for sure, but we'll add that one to the list. All right, well, over in SAS's base, the farm expansion continues. He's really going absolutely troppo. At the moment, both players sitting just shy of that 2k food a minute mark. The real difference is going to be when it comes to the gold. Look at that. Beastie sitting at the moment at 800, 850, 900 gold a minute. SAS down to 224. All of his gold has been isolated, and Beastie doing a great job with that, hitting the gold mine up to the north. Down to the south, the only gold mine that SAS has really got the option for is this one, and Beastie's put a keep on top of it. So the only gold that he's got coming in, I guess... I may have missed these golds, guys. I may have missed these golds in the back of the base of SAS, but that's okay. You know, there was a theory there. There was a theory there. Unfortunately, we didn't have all the evidence. we changed our position. You know, I could have just kept on my my montage, my tirade. Didn't happen. Springald, unfortunately, out in the open here. Now, keep in mind, the Janissaries in the Castle Age do 1 damage to Springalds. Once they get up to the Imperial Age, though, it's going to be a little bit different. A little bit of a counterattack over on the other side of the map. Spearman as well, looking to try and do some damage, but now Beastie looking to try and outmaneuver his enemy as the archers and Janissaries on the north side, as well as those knights, look to try and reposition. The Mangonel's going to be firing off, and Beastie reaches the Imperial Age. We take a look. It's going to be the Istanbul Observatory going down. No production being dropped down on this just yet. You can suspect it's going to be coming through very shortly as he continues to push this away, and Janissaries on the backside going to be firing off. Mangonel's getting off some decent shots back here. We enter into the cinematic mode to witness Beastie try his best to take out SAS here. Look at those Mangonel shots coming in from SAS, absolutely big. And now once again we talk about, you know, taking the right fight, taking the wrong fight. Well, it seems like Beastie may have taken the wrong fight right here. The Janissary's going to get cleaned up completely. Spearman. Hey, I gotta be honest with you guys. Spearmen are kind of good, right? Like, I feel like there's no downside to just massing Spearmen. They're so good, dude. I just want to make Spearmen all day. Oh, that sounded a little bit weird, but anyway, I digress. We bring back the UI so you guys can actually get an indication of where these guys are at in the game. But SAS evening up the scores a little bit more, bringing Beastie down by about 500-600 points in that battle. But this is not the battle that, oh my god, that boiling oil hits hard. SAS, unfortunately, just throwing away a whole bunch of units, does actually realize now he's under attack at so many different points, and we can see now he's cleaning up on the south side. So things not looking terrible, but we are going to be reaching that Ottoman late game stage as more walls begin coming up. It's going to be stone walls for Beastie. It's actually stonewalling in the front of his Imperial or Istanbul Observatory. You can see right there, it's got a big, wide influence, but look, realistically, it's not that important. You don't have to worry too much about this influence here. The main thing is this acts as a university, and it also increases the rate of influence for your blacksmith. So this one goes up to 60% from 40% with the addition of this. So you can just add in another blacksmith. It's only 100 wood. It's not a big deal. Stonewall's up towards the north now. Beastie looking to stonewall across the entire map, as is tradition for Beastie Cutie. And it's also, look, I'll be honest with you, it's more and more common now, even on these open maps, these maps that are 100% open, like Dry Arabia, Prairie, Lipany. I mean, saying Lipany is 100% open is like saying the dirt is delicious. I mean, your parents or your dad's probably told you go eat a dirt sandwich or something like that. It's not that delicious, I'll be real with you guys. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing regularly, routinely now, you know, 1,200, 1,500 stone just being spent on entire stone walls across the map. Just because it guarantees your safety in the late game. It allows you to control the narrative, allows you to be the one who raids the enemy, and that's exactly what we see Beastie doing repeatedly. 74 vills killed now in this game for Beastie. It is insane to see how many villagers we've actually been killed, or have actually died this game. Over 100 now have been taken out throughout this game. Meta going to be going down. Now Beastie going to be out of here with the Elite Knights. Beautiful upgrade. Definitely the right choice. My preference in the late game, Elite Spahi, Elite Knights, and Elite Janissaries. I think it's such a great combo. Such a deadly combo. And now in the gold mine, nice little counter raid here by SAS. Going to force Beastie away from this position. Boiling oil comes out, and we can see what appeared to be a torch thrown from that position. But the Keep going to be able to defend this absolutely easily. No problems there. A little bit of an exposed farmline down here. Walls still around. Trebuchet's just chilling out in the middle of the map for the moment. And things looking good for Beastie. He's got a nice villager lead of just 50 villagers. Just a little bit of a villager lead there for Beastie. Don't mind the villager lead, guys. But realistically, I mean, his numbers aren't that much greater than his enemies. I mean, you know what? Probably about, what, 1,500 resources different? That adds up. It adds up. And now we see the first of the big boys. Beastie Cutie has reached his final form, ladies and gentlemen. The Great Bombard is here, and Beastie Cutie is the driver. It is happening. I mean, we've talked about this a fair bit, Beastie Cutie being CG Cutie. It is one of the well-known memes in the community, but I feel like this is really the final form for Beastie, you know? One arm. I mean, Bombards just, they can't just be the arms. Hey, what are you... What... Did you just... How... What? Why? What? How did that... How did you even... Did he attack... Did Beastie pull the boar over here to stop the horseman blocking? Is that what just happened? I feel like Beastie attacked the boar with a ranged attack from the villager, brought the boar over, cleared the... I think that's what happened. I don't know, but I think that's what happened. That's insane. If that's actually what happened, that's so, like... How is your brain that big? That's ridiculous. Now pushing out, SAS still in the Castle Age. Keep that in mind. So it's dangerous. For me, the way I'm thinking about this game is, how do you win this game as SAS? Number one, you got to start walling up yourself. You need to start stonewalling in every corner of this map because you can't let your enemy have these annoying little raids. Number two, you need to get to Imperial Age yourself, which means don't you dare push out because you need these units. Number three, you got to get your elite upgrade so that you're fighting on the same foot as your enemy. And number four, you want to try and drag out the game as long as possible. Your enemy's got to 200 population. You're a little bit behind. You need to try and get to that point as well. So thinking a bit more about the macro side of things, it's about delaying the game as much as possible. And often that can mean going into Culverin as the Holy Roman Empire, and that's a really good thing to be doing against a civilization like the Ottomans, who love to go for these big bombard boys. These big boy bombards. Oh no, it's happening. It's happening. I see two of them out on the field, and there's plenty more apparently. Somewhere he's got them. Now, hopefully the meta is going to be on attack speed. Indeed it is. So he's got the attack speed bonus going for him now. So he's actually using two buffs here for his great bombards. The first one is going to be the archer inside. So this is Siege Cruise, which gives him, I think it's a 25% increase in attack speed. And then the meta on top of that is another 15%. So he gets the equivalent of an extra 40% attack speed on these great bombards. Allows them to trade out really well with a lot of those 10 range units. But now the great bombard's going to be moving through. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode as they begin firing off towards the enemy spearmen. No elite upgrades through just yet. Remember, rule number 3, you got to have elite upgrades to fight against your enemy. Don't dare be in the Imperial Age without your elite upgrades. You got to get the ASAP bombard continuing to fire off. Now, Janissary's on the backside, and look at Beastie Cutie's beautiful army composition here as SAS tries to take down the enemy. Bombards on the backside, still firing off towards the infantry. Janissary's looking absolutely beautiful. Look at the way he just holds that position. Mangonel shots coming from downtown. He hits it. 2 Mangonel shots straight into all of those, and now the Mangonel's going to be under attack from the Great Bombards. Just look at the damage that comes out from the Mangonels. Mangonel's looking incredible, but now there's and did you guys see how fast the Great Bombards are firing? That's all because of that attack speed bonus, but now the Elite Knight's going to be coming out. SAS looking in an increasingly more difficult position here. Knights now going to be starting to rampage through the enemy base. You know, we talked earlier a little bit about the things that you want to do in the late game. Number 1 is walling up. You want to try and control the narrative here, and we can already see that these knights breaking through into the enemy base is going to make it so difficult for SAS to focus. He's going to have villagers being killed at all corners of his base. He's going to have a push coming through on the front side. It's just going to be really difficult for him to do, and now Beastie, I mean, he's sitting on max population, 200 out of 200, compared to the 120 of SAS, and you can't help but feel that it's only a matter of time until SAS taps out of this game. He's got plenty of villagers down collecting, but Beastie manages to find it. A 35 villager gap between these two guys. Another bombard making its way. Actually, I think that might be the same one from before. And it's only the 2 bombards. I think the other unit was on this side. I got excited. Yeah, okay, I see. So it's on the inside here, not the outside. But SAS's landmark's now going to be under attack. We can see the Palace of Swabia. It's going to be about 4 shots, 5 shots, maybe 6 shots before that bad boy goes down. Great bombard, very effective at taking out buildings. The 2 bombards from Beastie going to be more than enough. And now the Janissaries have got all their upgrades. Look at the damage that's come through from them. Elite upgrades, chemistry, plus the unique Janissary upgrade that gives them an extra 3 attack is exactly what you need in this late game. It's going to make these units so much more effective. Still not as good as the hand cannoneer in the late game, but still pretty decent against cavalry, that is for sure. Town center now going to be going down. No emergency repairs coming out. I don't think it would have made a difference. These bombards are way too good. Horsemen going to be making their way back towards it. If you can hit the Great Bombard, you will slow this down. Janissary is going to be able to shred through this position. Bombard is able to stay alive. Great job there by Beastie to keep that one alive. Needs to bring the Bombard back to the other side. Now Janissary is going to start repairing. Look at this. The Janissary is repairing up the Bombard, but the Bombard gets sniped by the Culverin. Where's the Culverin? Show me the money. It's somewhere. There it is, sitting underneath the keep. Beautiful shot there. That was a 420 no scope if I've ever seen one. But unfortunately, the Knights are going to be introducing their dualies over to the Culverin. Falls back from the position, and Beastie, I mean, SAS at this point holding on for a little bit longer, but look at that villager difference. 78 villagers versus 141. Beastie going to be able to replace his army so much more quickly. And look at the resources he's stacking up now. So don't be surprised to see him go into elite archers, elite spearmen, elite spahi, just because that is the trash unit. And it's going to be so much easier to spam in the late game. So let's take a look at his base and see what it looks like. Get a bit of an idea of where he's sitting at the moment. And you can just see the endless amounts of farms. More production getting added in for Beastie as well. It's a beautiful base that he's got back there behind the safety of those walls. Now looking to push out towards the enemy side of the map. Once again, Mangonel going to be firing down. Only hitting Knights for the moment, and we've got Beastie moving out for some more stone. Maybe he wants to add in a few more walls. Maybe he wants to add in a keep of his own. 1,200 stone on that stone mine. It is fresh. And now the Janissaries together with the archers looking decent, but beautiful Mangonel shot. Seriously, that Mangonel shot is something else, isn't it? When I see the power of that Mangonel shot, it really makes me think the Imams with the AoE healing. Oh, game froze. Oh my lord, did you guys see that? No, my game just froze. A good game gets called. All right, a little bit of a freeze there. I'm not sure what happened there, but that is going to be a good game, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. Make sure you guys go check out Beastie. I'm going to leave a link in the description of where you can catch him. He might be streaming. He might be live right now, so go say good day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.